Hello, folks. This is Bob Zafela. Here we are for our Thursday night webinar. Before we get started, as you all know, I'm going to want to make sure you can all hear me clearly. So on the upper right-hand side of your screen there, you're going to see a hand. Just click on the hand over and over again. I can see you. Just go click, 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 click. There you go. Very good. Very, 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 very good. Okay, folks. So tonight's going to be very interesting because my predictions are coming true pretty fast here, as you're about to learn in the news. And just as a reminder, the reason we have these webinars is so I can actually kind of give you information on two subject matters. I am trying to give you the what I would call the short, medium, and long-term trends of the crypto world. Unfortunately, there's so much happening on the short term, which really is, out to 90 days, that it's hard to actually get in to 90 to 180 or 90 to a year because it's just almost too far out and there's too many changes. So I do try to talk about the what I would call the big three or the big four stories of the last 72 to 96 hours, because that's almost as you don't want to go too much further back. It's interesting. So I'm going to talk about four big stories tonight, and we also talk about tech trends. And tonight, in our Everything You Need to Know About Crypto series, tonight I'm going to talk about how you can use cryptocurrency for increasing sales, increasing money, increasing revenues, and helping your business. If you're involved, if you own a business, if you work in a business, if you're entrepreneur, I'm going to hit on some pretty interesting things we've been testing, and these are all things two of these things we've already been testing to a which are pretty interesting results. So I'm going to get into that before we get into the main topic for tonight, the everything you need to know topic. Let's talk about some news. Now, this is hilarious because I've been talking about Goldman Sachs, and I've been telling you they've been sitting back, being very quiet. They're not trying to they're not trying to tell everybody that their investors are about to make a killing. But finally, they're starting to come out now directly. Now, the guy you see here is the current CEO of Goldman Sachs, a guy named Lloyd Blankfein. Pretty interesting dude. And big headline, actually today, Goldman Sachs CEO, it's arrogant to think cryptocurrency won't be successful. Let me read that again. He is saying it's arrogant to think cryptocurrency won't be successful. Now, not trying to put too fine a line on things here, but that's a signal, and that's a dog whistle. That's telling all of the politicos and all the regulators that have their jobs in large part because of that guy and his firm. Guys, guess what? It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. And that's what he's saying. In fact, he goes on to say he's talking to the Economic Club of New York. That's where these quotes are coming from. And he says, if you go through the fiat currency where they say this is worth what it's worth because the government, says it, why couldn't you have a consensus currency? Now I'm gonna take a little bit of time on that sentence. I'm gonna take a little bit of time because the big argument against cryptocurrencies, I mean, there's lots of arguments, but one of the arguments against it is it's quote unquote not gold. It's not that, it's valueless. Okay, which if you pick up a $5 bill and let's say it isn't a $5 bill, it's a piece of paper. That's pretty valueless, isn't it? So let's check this sentence one more time. He is saying if you go through that fiat currency, and that's like dollars, yens, euros, okay? If you go through that fiat currency where they say this is worth what it's worth because the government, says it. Let's just stop right there. So he's basically saying what everybody's been thinking, that, hey, the governments are running the shows on the value of their monies. So when you hear about the dollar, is strong against the euro, and the yen is strong against the dollar, well, here's what Lloyd is saying to you. He's telling you this. He's saying if you go through that fiat currency where they say it is worth what it's worth because the government says it is, why couldn't you have a consensus currency? So he is now officially endorsing the concept of effectively the people's currencies. That's what he's saying. So that's what he's saying to y'all. He's saying, why couldn't you have a consensus currency? Why couldn't you have a currency that people all over the world could effectively decide the worth of? That's a pretty big statement by probably, if you kind of put together the top, the Mount Rushmore of people determining federal or Treasury policy or finance policy for the United States, let alone, the European Union, Lloyd Blankfein, the CEO of Goldman Sachs, is on the mountain. Okay? So this is an important thing for you as somebody who is still, remember, we're still now at about 27 million wallets out there. Those are people who have bought and hold or held at one point or another a cryptocurrency, a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. So 27 million people on planet Earth have held a currency in a marketplace that now is multiple trillions of dollars in value. So multiple trillions of dollars. There are only 27 million people who have participated in this market. That lets you know you guys are still earlier than the earliest adopters. So once again, I keep on saying just get more knowledge, and use the knowledge because you're way ahead of the pack. And what I'm saying to you now is you probably noticed the kind of the crazy alarmist news that was flying out in January, February, March, April. It's gone, isn't it? It's gone, as I predicted. And now the big money folks are all now positioned to start moving these cryptos up. Because what he said here, and I know I'm being repetitive here, but I want you to hear what he said. He said, why couldn't you have a consensus currency? So what he is saying, again, here's another way to look at this. He is saying there could be a currency that is unhooked from present currencies like the dollar, like the euro, like the yen, like the peso. He's saying that this currency can be separate and apart from it and can run on its own merit, whose value is decided by everyday people. That's what he's saying. I mean, this is such an incredible statement. I probably cannot overstate it enough. From essentially one of the top decision makers of monetary policy worldwide. So once again, cryptocurrency, you are at the beginning. You got to take full advantage of your positioning. Whether you're buying coins, you're using currencies, for some of the things I'm going to talk about tonight, you just got to get into the game at whatever level you can get into the game. Here's your next big indicator. Next news item. This came out today. Federal Reserve, that's the U.S. Federal Reserve Branch adds cryptocurrency price indexes. Now, what are price indexes? That means they are tracking officially the different currencies out there, many of them. So now the Federal Reserve is now tracking and putting the official stamp of approval on cryptocurrencies. The Federal Reserve Bank. Now I'm going to tell you something. If those cats are now jumping into the pile, this is pretty good. And understand that whether you agree with it or not, let's just set aside whether it's a good or it's a bad thing to have central banks and the Federal Reserve, and let's set that discussion aside for another time, and just acknowledge the fact that, as some pretty smart people have said, the value of things are determined by kind of the mass agreement on the value. There's going to be mass agreement when you see big upswings in the economy. You can almost tell it's going to happen because all of a sudden there's a drumbeat of news that's good news about the economy. And when you're preparing for a recession, all of a sudden there's a drumbeat, whether it's in the mainstream media, whether you think it's fake or not, whether it's in that media, whether it's on the internet media, online media, alternative media, there's going to be a drumbeat that moves the economy in one way or the other. It's part of the process. Yes, there are structural things that can happen. You can reduce regulations. You can reduce taxes. You can make it easier for people to borrow money from the local. It's all true. But at the end of the day, you have to get the agreement of hundreds of millions of people to move these things. Now, I'm saying that because you're getting big signals from economic opinion leaders that many people trust, whether it's okay to trust or not. Just a lot of people, when they hear the Federal Reserve Bank is now, they're now taking cryptocurrencies and they're making it part of their reporting. That is gigantic. And when you have the chairman and the CEO, of Goldman Sachs, Lloyd Blankstein, saying it's arrogant. Let's look at that say. What did he say again? Let's just look at that one more time. What did Mr. Lloyd say? He said it's arrogant to think cryptocurrency won't be successful. So he's basically calling out any of the naysayers and saying, you guys are pretty stupid if you don't think this is going to be big down the line here. All right. So we've got Goldman Sachs. They've made a big move. You got the Federal Reserve. They made a really big move. Now, when we talk about the money centers, worldwide money centers, you really got, there's a lot of money centers, but your big four are New York, London, United Kingdom, London. You have Dubai, which is the big money center for the Middle East, Western Asia, India. That's a money center. And then the fourth money center is Hong Kong. So there's your four big money centers. So here's the next big piece of news. Once again, pretty big news. UK crypto exchange to launch Litecoin futures. Now, once again, this seems, you may think it's innocuous, but it isn't. This is a big UK exchange, crypto, big UK-based exchange that is now offering crypto futures. Okay, this is huge news. because in the UK and London, once again, you start getting trading going. And when you open up a futures exchange, what do we mean by a futures exchange? You're betting on the future. That's what futures are. You're saying, you know something? Bitcoin is X. I think it's going to be Y. And since it's kind of tough to short a currency, it's much easier to go long with a currency. Most people, when you start seeing the word futures out there, it's because there's a lot of people who think the crypto is going to be going up. And why not? Because once again, you just have to do the simple math. There's over 7 billion people live on the planet, and there's about 27 million people who have either traded or are trading cryptocurrencies. It's a little pimple. Yet the industry as a whole is worth $3 trillion. So, once again, that's big news. Now, this last piece of news, I'm gonna take a little bit of time to define some words so you understand this next piece of news. But this is truly big news for cryptocurrency. Now, Goldman Sachs, this is the second big news story today from Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs says they're exploring crypto derivatives. Okay, now I know don't all fall asleep at once now, but let me explain in as simple as way as I can what a derivative is. Okay? All right. So let's say a bunch of people are buying. I'm going to make it very simple here. This isn't an exact example, but I want to make sure you understand. Let's say you have a bunch of people who are buying Amazon stock. Okay, bunch of people buying. Let's say Amazon decides that they're going to sell. Let's say Amazon's going to launch a bond. They're going to raise money with a bond. Okay, and the bond they're going to offer. Remember the old savings bonds way back when? A lot of people don't remember those. But in a savings bond, they give like 5 or 6 percent interest. Well, some bonds go for 8% interest, 9% interest. So what would happen is let's say Amazon decided to launch a bond. They're going to sell, $2 billion worth of bonds. Okay. Now, what is a derivative? It's a bet that the bond will do good or bad. It's just a bet. It literally is somebody saying, I think this Amazon bond is going to be trash. I think it's going to be a complete loser. And I think, in 3 years, it's not even going to trade at, 50 cents on the dollar. In fact, I'm going to bet $1 million that the Amazon bond is not going to even trade at 50 cents on a dollar. So it's a bet on how some other security is going to do. You could have bets on the mortgage industry. Remember the mortgage industry? Well, that's how the mortgage industry crashed. You had all those huge companies who were doling out mortgages, okay? And they were bundling thousands and tens of thousands of these mortgages into a bundle and selling these mortgages off. And then there was these derivatives that were betting either for or against how well those mortgages would perform. Okay? So I hope most of you got that. Now, why is this important? Because who plays in the derivatives world? Well, it sure ain't Ma and Pa Kettle. It ain't me. It ain't most people who, honestly, you guys are probably more educated on what a derivative is than 99.99% of the population of Earth. Just with what I told you tonight in the last 5 minutes. Okay, that's how much you just learned. So who exactly is buying derivatives? Ah, yes. The big multi-billion-dollar funds that are hundreds of billions. Those are the guys that buy derivatives. And they're betting on cryptocurrencies. So they're going to have these derivatives saying that crypto is going to go up or crypto is going to go down. All right. So right now, with the market automatically, in essence, going up because you have so many people entering the space. And let me explain that a little bit. You have 27 million wallets. There's 7 billion people on planet Earth. The total value of all the crypto coins is about $3 trillion. So you only have 27 million people, but they're adding it to the tune of 3 million more people every month, every 3 months. And that's starting to escalate. So that's more and more and more. It's like with the stock market, it's not like the stock market growth rate in terms of people getting involved in stock markets going up 10% a month, is it? Of course not. It's not like there's 10% growth rate of people buying into the bond market every month. Of course, it's a flat level. Maybe it's a slight rise. But in the cryptocurrency world, the growth rate is monumental. And these guys that, manage billions of dollars, they know that the price of things go up when there are more people trying to buy than people trying to sell. And if you have 3 million more people coming into the market every 90 days, they aren't coming in there and getting wallets to not buy anything, are they? I mean, think about it. If you have 3 million more wallets being signed up for in every 90 days, what do you have to put in a wallet? Money. You got to put cryptocurrency. So it's going to the rise is just going to be up, up, up. Now, is it going to be crazy like last year? Probably not. It's a more mature market. But hey, folks, if it's 3% a month on average over 12 months, that's a 36% increase. That beats the bejesus off of the stock market. And I think 3% is probably low a month. But once again, it's just common sense. So when you see that Goldman Sachs is exploring the crypto derivatives market, what that means is they're pre-selling the crap out of it. They're getting commitments just lining up. And those guys aren't, I'm going to tell you, how can you possibly bet against a market that's growing at 3%? Excuse me. Let me see. 10%. Yeah, 3% every month. It's growing. The number of people that are entering it is 3% a month. I mean, the Chinese growth in their economy is 7% a year, and everybody thinks that's like, oh my gosh, 7% growth. The cryptocurrency world is 3% a month, and it's not even starting to hit a real rocket ride yet, because you have the number of potential people that could buy cryptocurrencies in developing countries, just add Europe, US, Japan, Korea, just those 4 places. You're almost talking 1 billion people. So what does this mean? It means that only about almost 3% of those billion people are in and bought any type of cryptocurrencies. That's what it means. So when you take a look at and this is all in the last 48 hours, Goldman Sachs CEO comes out and says it's arrogant to think cryptocurrency won't be successful. Said that today. Federal Reserve, they're going to start officially indexing the prices of cryptocurrencies. That means they're going to be using that data to put out their reports. Okay? Big UK-based futures exchange is opening up. Last but not least, Goldman Sachs is going to be opening up. Now, you understand this derivatives market. Remember, that's betting on other things. That's betting on whether something will go up or down. The derivatives market is trillions of dollars. This is trillions with a T dollars. Now, Goldman Sachs doesn't play. All right? So that's what you need to know, and that's what you need to think about. So let's go on to the main topic of tonight on some ways that you can use cryptocurrencies. And I know we have quite a few people here who possess cloud coins. And remember, the more people that are getting their hands on cloud coins, the more liquidity is happening. When you have more and more and more and more and more and more people holding cloud coins, that increases the potential liquidity market. You have more, and that's important, because when you start having a sudden jump, like when Cloudcoin gets onto BitShares, you have a lot of people who can buy and sell, who are interested in buying and selling. Okay, so let's talk about one of the things you can do, and we're about to do it. Now, there's a company up, and I'm going to tell you right now, don't go run out and buy this product, okay? Don't do it, because this is something that we're about to test involving a super hot product called NutriGrill, okay? Now, what we're about to do is we're about to offer NutriGrills with a twist. We are going to provide a reward of cryptocurrency when you buy NutriGrill. So NutriGrill already is a great product, and you'll learn more later on, but do not buy it now. Don't buy it now. Don't do it. NutriGrill is a great product because it's priced in a very good way. It cooks food really nice, and it's very healthy. Now, there's two ways that I can compete against other people that are selling NutriGrill. I could lower the price, okay? Just like you with your company or your product or your service could lower the price. And that's one way you could be competitive against other people, all right? Well, here's another way you can be competitive. Provide an opportunity for a buyer to potentially enjoy almost unlimited upside. Now, what do I mean by that? So I'm sure you heard the story about the first official sale of Bitcoin. A guy, I think it was 10,000 Bitcoins. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. They took 10,000 Bitcoins and bought a couple pieces of pizza. All right? Well, that's worth a lot of money. Now, I don't know if the pizza guy was smart enough to hold on to that stuff. Probably wasn't. But the point is all the 27 million people who have wallets, and that's going to probably be double in the next 9 months. They all know the story, and that's going up and up and up. And even people who haven't bought, Bitcoin or Ethereum yet, they're hearing these stories. Believe me. Okay. So if they go onto Amazon and they search for NutriGrill, and there's one company that's selling NutriGrill, and they're selling it for $10 less than I'm selling NutriGrill, but I'm offering 10 cloud coins or 20 cloud coins. Now people are going to go, well, what the heck's cloud coin? They're going to automatically be very inquisitive because they're hearing all this stuff about coins, cryptocurrencies. So they're going to go, wow. I can get some cloud coins. What's cloud coin? So they'll learn all about cloud coins. And what do you think? Do you think they're gonna okay? I'm gonna save $5 or $6 extra bucks buying from this guy who's selling NutriGrill versus this guy who's offering me what's almost unknowable upside. Who do you think they're going to buy from? That's right. You're going to get a portion of people who are going to buy from you because you're offering an additional item that gives them far more upside than the small amount of savings they could get from somebody else. All right? Not to mention the fact that just the fact that you're selling this product but people also get the bonus of getting this currency, for free. It's going to increase your number of people that are actually going to come to the site. They're just going to come because they're going, what the heck is this thing? What is this thing? Okay? So that's something you should really think about, particularly some of you who may have acquired a substantial amount of CloudCoin at this point. Take a look at your services, take a look at your products, and see how you can increase your sales or website visitation through the attraction of the hottest, fastest growing industry on planet Earth, cryptocurrencies and digital currencies in general. I mean, that's how you attract people. You know what I mean? If you put on your site, I don't care what you says, hey, you're going to get X, Y, you're going to get X, Y percentage of Bitcoin. I'm going to give you a Bitcoin to buy blah, blah. Well, a fraction of a Bitcoin. You're going to get people going to you just to see what that is, which is going to increase the number of people that are coming to your site. Automatic. Just automatic. So that's one thing you should think about. Now, here's another thing, and we tested this. Now, looking for, that didn't pop up. That's the third item. Okay, I can't find the web link, but okay. I took a company that was selling a info product and a service on how to invest in real estate. Okay? Here was this company, and they were doing very, very, very well. And when they generate leads, people can get a free training package. And after they do the free training package, they could get involved in investing in real estate and really do it and make a lot of money. Okay? So this company not only provides the training, but they also provide, in some cases, financing, and they provide the deals. Okay? So obviously, if they get somebody involved with their company by offering a free info product, free training, and then that particular person gets involved in real estate with them, that could be worth thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for both sides, the company and the person who filled out the lead. Okay? So once again, what did we do? We encouraged people to go watch a TV show that this company was on, that we actually set up. But we also said, okay, after you watch the TV show, you'll get X number of cloud coins to then register to find out more about this company. Let me tell you something. The leads went off the hook. I mean, the results were unbelievable. The number of people who filled out the lead form, who got involved with their program, I mean, holy smokes. So that was the use of a free offer to generate a call to action. So here's a call to action. Fill out and register for this free education. And if you do so, you're going to get X number of coins. You almost can't overstate how well that test went. So if you, for instance, have some business that's involved with high ticket sales, anything over $1,000 is high ticket. So if you're involved with something that's $1,000, $5,000, who knows, whatever you're selling. And in order to sell the thing, the service, the product, you have to talk to somebody. You have to fill out a lead form. You just can't lose by, and obviously you can lose. If you have a crappy service or a crappy product, you'll lose. Okay. So obviously, anybody listening to me, whether it's tonight live or people listening to this recording tomorrow, the next day, don't try this. It's kind of like the warning, when you see these TV shows where they're doing these crazy tricks. Don't do that. These are trained professionals doing these tricks. Don't do this on your own. So what I'm telling you now, is don't try the use of rewards like giving away cloud coins or giving away this cryptocurrency unless you have a really good product or service. Okay, just don't do that. So just make sure you have a good product or service. Okay, so that's the second. That's the second thing. Now the third thing, this is very interesting. So Bloomberg has just did a very, very good article on the use of crypto coins for loyalty programs. And in particular, if you have a product that somebody's not just going to buy once, but they're going to buy over and over and over again. They'll buy it on a subscription basis monthly, or they're going to return to you because it's it's something that they're just going to buy more than once. Okay, if you have something like that, or you have a service that once people sign up for, they stay on contract for. Okay, offering a currency or a cryptocurrency or a digital currency like cloud coins for somebody to remain on the service, like if once they've hit 6 months of consuming this product every month, they get XYZ cloud coins or XYZ cryptocurrency, whatever it is. I mean, just because once again, you have to do your math on this kind of thing, but in the math works something like this. You could either give away $100, or you could offer a currency that may right now only cost you $30, but to the consumer, they may think, and they may rightly adjudicate that $30 could turn into $300 in 12 months. Well, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? Well, a lot of people are going to go, heck with the $50, when maybe I could get some, I could get up down the road, I could make $300. Do you see how that is? So it's almost like it's a math thing. You have to take a look at what revenue could you get if they stay on the service, if they continue to buy from you. What do you need to do to keep that revenue in place? And there's only a couple things you really can do. You can offer some extra product. That's a cost. Or you could offer them a discount. That's a cost. Or you could offer them something like a currency that's effectively at a lower rate than the discount you would offer them if you gave them money off or gave them more product. You get the idea? So if you say, okay, I've got this, I'm selling this phone service, okay, probably a bad example, but I'm selling this phone service, and I know if that customer stays on for 12 months, I'm going to make $1,000. So maybe to keep them on, I'm going to give them a $200 discount over the 12 months. Well, what if instead you offered them $30 of current value cryptocurrency or digital currency, where the consumer in their own mind, I'm telling you, they're going to think, well, who knows? That $30, that could be worth thousands. So this is how you can do these kind of things. You have to take a look at whenever you're trying to keep a customer, it's all based on what value. Once again, you better have a product or service that's good. That's like rule number one. You're not going to keep a customer if you have lousy products or services. It's just not going to happen. But setting that aside, you probably are going to have competition. And if your competition is offering a 10% discount and you're offering currency, cryptocurrency, or you're offering digital currency, I don't know. There's a whole lot of people who say, heck with that, heck with the $10 off. So this is another way for you to benefit. And this is how you can use cryptocurrencies, digital currencies to benefit whatever you're selling, whatever your business is, in that area. Personally, you can, you know what you can benefit from cryptocurrencies there. But how about using this tremendously hot thing to help you generate more business? So that's the name of the game there. Now, I want to make everybody aware of a couple more things. We had, if you see my notices, we had a special that was going on for Cloud Coins, and I just can't tell you. And who knows? Maybe a whole lot of people. We're adding a whole lot of people to our newsletter. That's possible. In fact, more than possible. It's happening. We have a lot of people still are complaining that they haven't even heard about what we're offering, let alone had any time to decide. So we did send out notice on Monday that we went ahead and we extended our special out through Friday night. So make sure, I definitely don't want to see anyone here who's on this briefing email us and say, hey, nobody told me about the special. Please, I don't want to hear that. Because we have now been telling people for 2 or 3, I'm going to give one more notice tomorrow. So there you go there. So I hope this has been helpful. It's time to do our random drawing for 10,000 Cloud Coins. And here we go. I love this. I love doing the countdown. Countdown is fun. Okay, here's our countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, number 99. Attendee 99 is the lucky one. Boy, I tell you, it is so much fun because I get to send out the notice on Friday to the person that's on these webinars that they've won 10,000 Cloud Coins. Man, you should see these people that respond. I should put together a book of these things. It's like they're just setting off rockets and cheering, and it's kind of cool. So I want to thank you all for attending our brief tonight. By the way, on the special, make sure you email me at bob@digitalcurrencygrowth.com. I appreciate your attendance tonight. Thank you very much.